I know there's going to be a lot of backlash on the topic of how President Biden is flip-flopping, as Kelly reported. But on the Republican side, things are heating up around the group of 8, the Republicans, led by Representative Matt Gaetz, ousting House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. Now, House Republicans are weighing on whether to expel Gaetz from their conference. Congresswoman Nancy Mace, her staff has reportedly been removed from several internal GOP communications channels. She's one of the 8. She herself might be booted from 2 centrist-leaning groups. A South Carolina lawmaker speaking with NewsNation's Leland Vittert.
Was it worth all the chaos?
Well, chaos is what got us here. And just because we don't have a permanent speaker in the position today doesn't mean we have to hit pause. I am a workhorse, as are most members of Congress, and I'm here to do the job I was elected to do.
All right, White House columnist for The Hill, Niall Stanage. Niall, good morning. So much to talk about, so little time. Just give us a picture, besides what we've already said. What does payback look like if you're one of these 8 GOP lawmakers?
It's very difficult to actually say what payback does look like. There's enormous amounts of anger from the 200 Republicans, approximately, who voted to keep Kevin McCarthy directed at those 8. But anger and effective retaliation are 2 different things. Yeah, there's this talk about, expelling them from the conference, but what does that really do? And some of those things that are being mentioned in relation to Congresswoman Mace don't frankly matter to the rather enclosed bubble outside Capitol Hill, like her staff's been removed from some internal emails. Oh, well, I think she'll survive. So that's the problem. It isn't really clear what the retaliation would be.
What would be the leverage they might maintain? Because as I spoke with Representative Rosendale on Thursday's show, he was saying he was praying that there would only be a slim majority in the House, Republicans to Democrats, because then you could weigh the leverage to the more ultra-conservative side. Do they maintain that leverage moving forward?
They do, and I saw that interview, and the congressman's prayers were clearly answered in terms of the math in the House of Representatives. This is what makes the whole picture so complicated and so difficult for the leaders of the Republican conference, Adrienne, whoever that proves to be. Republicans have a very narrow majority. That means potentially they need every vote. Therefore, you can't go around trying to slap people down or impose your will upon them and then want their vote the next day for some other measure. That gives the Matt Rosendales, the Matt Gaetzes, the Nancy Maces a lot of power in this situation, and there's no obvious way for the leadership or the establishment to get around it.
And so should we stop speculating? Should the media be more responsible with their reporting? Efforts to expel Matt Gaetz from the House now because everybody's ticked off at him. Meanwhile, he's just enjoying the fact that he made history. Should we be more measured?
I think we should. I think there are a couple of elements to that. One is any move against, say, someone like Matt Gaetz would be kind of punishing him for disagreeing with other people. I mean, I understand it's a very dramatic moment, but is that really what, politicians want to be doing, or that the media should be cheering them on with? There is a separate issue which you kind of got at there in your question, which is a lot of the coverage, in my opinion, exaggerates the public interest in the inside baseball of Capitol Hill. There's a lot of sort of grandiose rhetoric by people who work there as if the world is Capitol Hill. You call up someone, choose someone random in the phone book and call them up and say, Nancy Mace's staff have been thrown off an internal email. What do you think about that? Who would really care? So that, I think, is the problem here. Yes, it's interesting in the Capitol Hill Kremlinology, but it's of very limited interest to the general public.
And also, you made such a good point there, penalizing somebody because they disagree. While this is disruptive, it's also democracy. No laws were broken. And obviously, this is going to change the course of what the speakership looks like, what the House of Representatives looks like. What a time. What a time to be a reporter. What a time to be alive. Niall Stanage, I hope you have a wonderful weekend, my friend. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.